Happy New Year. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. Is it really January 2nd, 2024? Is that really a thing? Happy New Year, guys. What's up, Alexis and Elsa? Ash is here. Christina and Kevin are joining us. Jonathan and Mark. Christina's here. What's up, Mr. Tallman? Brett joining us with Carol. Eric. Dina is here. Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. For anybody that's new, I'm your host, Mistress Carrie. No, these are not prescription. Welcome to the War Room. This is where we've been congregating since March 14th of 2020. Can you believe that we are going to have our anniversary coming up in March? Our 4-year Cocktails in the War Room anniversary coming up in March. It doesn't make any sense. So when the world went crazy, we got together for the first time here in the War Room, basically for a quick meetup, a little support group, and a cocktail. And, well, we all know what happened after that. And in the summer of 2020, we turned Cocktails in the War Room from a nightly show, 80 nights in a row, was a lot of cocktails, into a weekly show like it is now, because we also launched the Mistress Carrie podcast and mistresscarrie.com, the online store. I got back on the radio. It's been a lot, and we've ridden through all of it together. And today is the first show of the new year. So to you guys, I hope you had a fantastic long holiday weekend. Cheers to what I'm hoping is going to be an unbelievable 2024. If anybody's wondering, it says, Santa, I promise I really tried. And if anybody's wondering what the cocktail du jour is tonight, it's Coquito from Fernandez. So we will go into the Coquito recipe, but that's what this is. And if you're going to drink a traditional Puerto Rican beverage, it might as well be from a guy that is from Puerto Rico. And it's delicious. So cheers to you guys. Happy New Year. Elsa says blueberry cobbler. Eric says good evening and Happy New Year. Bish says, hey, Brett Feldman, congrats to Michigan. Kim says, Happy New Year, everyone, and hello to Carrie and Wednesday. Right now, it's just me. Wednesday is with the baby. If you are new to the show or maybe have been gone for a while, I've had family staying with me since July. Their home renovations are about 90% done, and they are hoping in the next couple of weeks that they are going to be moved home and settled. It's been a very long road for them, and luckily they've been able to stay with me. When they moved in, my little nephew, Dax, was not even a month old, and now he's like 7 months old, and he's wearing like 12-month-old plus clothes. He's a giant, and he's adorable, and it makes my day every day that I get to see him. So I'll be sad to see them go, but I know they're excited to get back into their house. So that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. But Wednesday's obsessed with the baby. And so getting her away from the baby, they have to like close the door and kick her out because she just wants to sit there and marvel at the baby all the time. Let's see. Christine says, tell us about your BF and tell us about your BF. Did hubby go also? Oh, you guys talking about Shinedown? So I'll give you guys a little bit of a recap because I want to hear how you guys spent the holidays as well. But so this year for the holidays, my husband was here. For anybody that's new, he's a geo bachelor because he's active duty military, so we can't live together right now. And the kids were split this year. They're teenagers. They went where they wanted to go. And so one wanted to be with mom, one wanted to be with dad. We accommodated and said, that's fine. And so 3 out of the 4 Wolfpack members were together for the holidays. And they got here before Christmas and didn't leave until New Year's Day. So we got a really good chunk of time together to be able to see a lot of family and friends. You guys hear that? There's a phone here in the war room. that can only call in. It can't call out. It's like, it looks like the president's phone with the red light on it. And it's ringing right now. Think it's the Pentagon? I thought it was my cell phone at first. Like, who the hell is calling me? They know I'm on the show right now. So we got to see a lot of family, got to see a lot of friends, did a lot of cooking, did a lot of kind of hanging around and goofing off, which was amazing. And Shinedown was going to be at Foxwoods on the 29th. And it was their last show of the year. And so I put the call in to see if we could go. And so we got tickets and we went. And Shinedown, I want to toast the guys in Shinedown, guys, because they were handed plaques on stage at Foxwoods because they got their 23rd number one song, which is the most of any rock band ever, which is just, I started tearing up watching them on stage accept this award. So to the guys from Shinedown, they ended 2023 with their 23rd number one song, which was just unbelievable. I've been talking a lot back and forth with the Shinedown camp because there's a special thing coming up that has to do with Shinedown for an upcoming episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast. There's a hint of it in this week's podcast. And so I'll tell you about this week's podcast coming up. But so I had been talking to the Shinedown guys and the camp a lot about putting this thing together. And so we went to the show. It was amazing. Needed another sip. Sorry. Show was great. Met up with Brent after the show. He wanted to go play blackjack, which was hilarious because normally Brent is one of those singers that will hang around for a little while afterwards and then says, I'm really sorry. I'd love to hang out and talk, but I have to go to bed because he's got to rest his voice for the next show. But because it was the last show of the tour, he wanted to go and play blackjack and stuff. But my bonus son with us and not old enough to go near the gaming tables. So we hung out for a little while. My bonus son is a huge Shinedown fan. So he got to take pictures with Brent, which he was super excited about. And we got to hang out a little bit. My husband was there. So him and Brent love each other and like are always talking whenever they get to see each other. So that was really, really cool. And then we came home and I'm the night owl of the family. And so I was wide awake, but those guys obviously are not the night owls of the family, especially my husband, because he gets up so early for work that he's just one of those people that wakes up first thing in the morning. But we had an absolute blast. The show was awesome. So excited for the Shinedown guys that they got their 23rd number one. And you'll be hearing from Brent from Shinedown very soon. That's all I can tell you right now. Let's see. Rachel says, I would have been bawling happy tears. I was. Not only to see them get their 23rd, but every time they play Simple Man, it makes me cry. It doesn't matter if I see them play it in front of 5,000 people or 50,000 people. Every single time, it makes me cry. What did I do on New Year's Eve? We spent New Year's Eve at home. I am not a lover of going out on New Year's Eve unless it's a big like party of some sort for like a radio station or something. But I like a house party. And so because they were still here, we had some friends come over. We made tacos. We took the Christmas tree down. We burned the Christmas tree in effigy in the yard and rang in the new year watching Jelly Roll and Green Day and 30 Seconds to Mars on TV. And it was perfect. And it was nice to just be able to hang out at home. And then unfortunately, we got up on New Year's morning and they had to pack up and leave and go back to North Carolina, which was super bummer. But I know I'm going to see them again soon, so it was fine. But New Year's was pretty mellow, and it's exactly the way I wanted it. So that was great. Jane says, I saw Shinedown 3 times this year. Foxwoods was the best. Assistant C has a bromance. You mean Mr. C, Assistant C? Yeah, him and Brent get along really, really well. And they've met each other a bunch of times now. Brent and the guys are always so gracious when it comes to my family and the kids. The kids' first rock concert ever was Shinedown down in Myrtle Beach, and they gave them all access passes and got to hang out after the show and took pictures and gave them drumsticks, and they're just wonderful. And it means a lot because, you know, none of us were married and none of us had kids when we met. And so to see everybody with these families and these kids that they adore, and for them to see me that way, they're just always so gracious and wonderful. So, let's see. Brett says Green Day was awesome New Year's Eve. Jessica says, how is mom doing? Any new changes? No. I went and saw her right before Christmas, and that was the best that I had seen her in a while. It took me a little bit to get her up and moving around, but once I got her kind of up and moving around, she was super energetic and happy. I was playing her music, which she loves every time I go to see her, and she actually was dancing with me, which was kind of unbelievable. But no, there's no new changes. There's not going to be any recovery of any kind. So status quo is the best we can hope for. So that's what's happening kind of right now. But she is definitely slower to get up, slower to move. It takes a lot more coaxing to get her to eat. Not really understanding how to use cutlery anymore, having to help feed her, having to help get her changed. It's sad. It's the way that nature intended it, obviously, is for a child to take care of a parent, but it doesn't make it easy. And so, yeah, it's tough. But Jonathan says, 2 days off for Christmas. I worked 7 straight. Oh, exhausting. I just laid in bed and watched the ball drop, says Jonathan. Yeah, we were super mellow. We all had sweatpants on. You know, we made cocktails and wore funny hats and got the noise poppers with the confetti, which was a blast to clean up. I did want to tell you guys, though, because I wanted to find out, favorite gift that you guys got this holiday season, whether it was before Christmas, whether it was for Hanukkah. I am the kind of person that never asks for frivolous things. I am not a wasteful person. I hate to waste food. So all of the cooking that I do for the holidays, planned leftovers and planned food for my freezers for the winter is all part of it. And when it comes to gifts, I hate for people to waste money on things that aren't important. And so I got to take these glasses off because they're squeezing my head. But aren't they cute? So I always ask for practical things that I want to get, but I haven't had a chance to, things that I want to get, but maybe haven't had the money to. And so this year I asked for a vacuum cleaner, which came in super handy with the confetti and the champagne poppers at midnight because it was a mess. Wednesday, we didn't want her eating the confetti and the streamers because anybody with a dog knows it goes in one way and comes out the other. But I got a vacuum, one of those handheld rechargeable ones that you can use to vacuum your car and the couch and easy on the stairs. I redid my laundry room last year, stayed up all night for 3 nights in a row, stripping the wallpaper, repainting the cabinets, redecorating everything. And I left a spot on the wall where there was a plug with the hopes of buying one of these battery powered handheld vacuum cleaners with all the different attachments and the wall mount. And so that space in the laundry room has been empty since I redid the laundry room. And I got my vacuum that I really wanted, which I was super excited about. So Bish says, favorite gift I gave was a trip for mom to go to Nashville this summer. What a nice gift. Let's see. My son's B-Day is the 26th. So we had surf and turf delicious. Was it the Milwaukee M18 vac? No, it's one of those Dyson ones that's got all the attachments and rechargeable. It's super fancy. My husband was like, I can't believe like this is what you want for Christmas. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want. So he got it for me, which was awesome. Did you get Wednesday any toys or dog treats? No, not really, because I know that everyone else is going to spoil her. So, she gets like a little stocking stuffer, like a little dog treat from me or whatever. But the way that my family does the holidays, because my sister and I cook for Christmas at my house, we always, when we were kids, we were allowed to open one gift on Christmas Eve, which was usually really funny pajamas. And then when we woke up as kids on Christmas morning, we were allowed to get up, run downstairs, and open whatever was in our stocking before we woke up our mom and dad. And that was tradition, that my sister and I spent time together in the morning just opening our stocking, and it was always filled with socks and toothbrushes and candy and just stocking stuffers, weird little tchotchkes that my mom would find, little stuffed animals and things for our hair and just little things like that. And then once we woke our parents up, we could open up everything from Santa and open everything from mom and dad. As we've gotten older and have taken over the family responsibility of making the meal, we have opted to open all of the presents on Christmas Eve so that we can do it in a small way, just us at home, because Christmas morning starts at 6 a.m. cooking. And by the time the turkey comes out of the oven and the lasagna is done, the whole family is here. And you guys know that if you're going to do gifts with more than a half a dozen people, it's bedlam. And especially with little kids and all of that stuff, and dogs. So we do Christmas on Christmas Eve. And so I knew that Wednesday, who obviously has a stocking, was going to get a bunch of stuff in her stocking, which stocking stuffers are a big thing in my house. Case in point, got a couple things I wanted to show you. I got a new rubber ducky for the rubber ducky collection. And I got this. In case I get crap for Christmas. So if you guys ever want to know what my family is like, it's basically like this. This is my family right here. So stocking stuffers are things that we always look forward to. And I always am looking for weird things and then little practical things, kitchen gadgets, stuff like that to put in stockings, especially with my sister and I. We're always trying to outdo each other when it comes to the holidays. Obviously, we all got pajamas, as we always do. So, but the vacuum was the big deal for the year. What's up, Steven? Who got their stocking stuffed? Bish wants to know. I got beautiful earrings from my niece and youngest nephew. That's fantastic, Donna. I have that ducky for my Jeep, says Keith. I got the Yankee toilet paper. That's hilarious. Mr. Cole says all my favorite strippers wear glitter. Really? My uncle and his family got my husband and I a pizza oven that I wanted. Alexis, that sounds fantastic. Let's see. I got a Pistol whiskey decanter, says Steven. That sounds cool. Something that would totally fit right in here in the war room. Let's see. Rubber ducky, you're the one, says Jonathan. How was paper plate day? So just to reiterate my family's traditions, we have dinner on Christmas. Some people leave after dinner because of split families, marriages, all of that kind of stuff. We have other family and friends that drop by for dessert. And then we have other people that like drop by at night for like a hot cider and to come and say hi. And then the day after Christmas, my family does what we call paper plate leftovers, which is whatever food is left over, everybody comes over and microwaves leftovers on paper plates. No new dishes, none of that stuff. And then whatever doesn't get eaten in leftovers ends up in the soup, ends up in, like if there's leftover turkey and vegetables, I make turkey pot pies, I make soup, all of that stuff, and it stocks my freezer for the winter. So paper plate leftovers are super informal. Everybody always ends up coming over in pajamas or sweatpants around dinner time and just kind of hangs out and talks about all the other different family that they visited over the holiday and whatever. And it's just super mellow. And then obviously the family comes over with Tupperware so that they can take leftovers home too. So my niece came over with her new makeup and asked me to give her a makeup lesson, which we did right before the War Room last week. So when I was doing my makeup for the War Room, she was doing her makeup next to me in my bathroom in front of the big vanity. And she was all excited. And it was beautiful. Girls, you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you started doing makeup. It was a thing, but Grace, you looked beautiful. So that's kind of what paper plate leftover day is like. And it was great. Rachel says the best part of Christmas for me was our oldest nieces when we're over the moon because I gave one of them fuzzy socks and baby Yoda and her younger sister got Stitch. Yeah, like fuzzy socks, amazing. What did you and your sister get each other? So my sister got my family, meaning my husband and the kids, a gift card for the family to go to one of those break rooms, like the rooms you go into where you get to smash everything, which the kids, we need both kids with us, which is going to happen at some point this year. But super excited to go and do that together, like in the smash room. So that was like her big gift to me and the family, obviously. My big gift to her, I got my sister, so I got her a bunch of different things, not one big gift, but I got her a bunch of things. But I think the most sentimental gift that I got her, she has a cat that is older, that means the world to her. And so I found this website called Pet Portraits, and you upload pictures of a pet. You can change the background around, and they can either make your pet into like a sketch drawing or like a watercolor painting, or my sister's big into like animation, like Mel Blanc animation and animated movies, comic books. She just loves animation. And so one of the options was to have the picture made to look like a Disney cartoon. And so I had my sister's cat turned into a cartoon that looks like it would be like in a Disney movie. And so you get the high res digital file. And then I got it like printed onto a canvas and framed for her. And she just loved it. So that made me really happy that it was one of those things that not everybody would love, but that I knew she would love. And her cat is still with us. I will tell you guys that I got Zero's dad the same thing. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the one of Zero that I had done, because you guys met Zero so many times here in the War Room, and Zero passed this year. And so I wanted to give Zero's dad something that's, let me see if I can find it here. So that, oh, here she is. There she is. So you scan multiple images of the picture, and then they do a mock-up, and then you can attach more pictures and ask for changes. And so that was what I had done for Zero's dad, and he really loved it too. So, but my sister really, really loved it. So much so that the cat she had before, that she wants to have one made of her other cat so that she can have a matching set. So, yeah, it was really, really cool. Zero, I believe, was 13. And all of her other litter mates only lived to about 9. So we were really lucky to have Zero for as long as we did. Just adorable. So anyway, so that was kind of the big gift giving part of the holiday. We give super practical gifts. We're not super, frivolous and wasteful. We try to, give little novelty, like joke gifts, we call them. So like I got my husband a garden gnome riding a Harley that goes outside on like the back patio where he lives. And it has a little solar cell on the fender of the motorcycle. So the headlight lights up at night, which is kind of hilarious. So he thought that was really funny. Jen says, I did that for my husband with his father, my husband with his dad, and my father-in-law passed when he was 14. Oh, that's really sweet. Bish says, I miss my yellow lab, Sandy, every day. Yeah, it's one of those things that you're just never going to not miss them. So I wanted to do something that was a little sentimental, and they both really, really appreciated it. So the holidays were great. It was really good. And now it's just a matter of like, I'm still vacuuming up pine needles and kind of, getting the house back in order. A lot of people don't like the winter in New England. And for me, doing what I do, New England has less concerts. I'm a little less busy. The weather makes it near impossible to go outside and kind of work on the house. And so it kind of forces me to kind of lay low a little bit, which is something that I look forward to every year for my life to just calm down a little bit. I get a lot of, my year-end banking and accounting stuff taken care of. I usually clean out closets and organize drawers. And I try to go on a trip during the winter, but I really kind of look forward to kind of January, February, and like the first couple of weeks of March every year in the winter to kind of allow myself, permission to kind of stay in my PJs all weekend and just to kind of chill and recharge my batteries because the spring, summer, and fall are so hectic all the time. So while a lot of people move out of New England for the winters, I actually enjoy the snowstorm kind of coziness in front of the wood stove and just want to relax a little bit. And so this is that time of year for me, which I'm super excited about. So we have a Red Sox gnome that I keep leaving at my brother's house, the Yankees fan. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Jason says, listening to you makes my housework more enjoyable. Thank you. Banking and organizing drawers. That's so metal. It has to get done, right? You've got to do those things. And I don't want to do them in the summer. In the summertime, I'm busy. I'm doing all the metal things. So in the wintertime is kind of my time to organize my life. And it's also the time that I now, more recently, design new merchandise, do house cleaning on the website, brainstorm ideas, really start setting up trips and concerts and promotions for the rest of the year. It's a super productive time for me, but it's not as stressful as the rest of the year. So I actually look forward to it. A good snowstorm or a blizzard every now and then. For anybody that grew up before teleworking, before being in school on Zoom, getting snowed in at home and going and playing in the yard all day and building snow forts, or just being like, sorry, can't come to work today, we're snowed in. Oh, well. And just kind of cozying up and binging something on TV or watching movies or whatever. Like, I'm totally into that. Melissa says our tree went up and was decorated on the 29th. We bought it the 18th and it stayed outside until we had enough to decorate it. My daughter's birthday is Sunday. Half the time we have a party to get snow. Yeah, exactly. So I like the chilling part of it. Just calm down. This time of year is very relaxing for me and I enjoy it a lot. Bish says, Carrie, we're getting a blizzard on Sunday. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm not mad about it. Not at all. I'm fine with it. Bring it. I'm all good. All right. Wednesday is not here to turn the pug cam on. So I want to remind you guys about some events that are coming up now that it's 2024. If you're not aware, you can hear me every weekday afternoon on 100 FM The Pike in Worcester. And coming up on April 27th, the Big Gig 3 is happening at the DCU Center in Worcester with Stain, Seether, Asking Alexandria, and Tim Montana. Tim Montana, by the way, was my guest last week on the Mistress Carrie podcast. Mike Shue and I are going to be the master and mistress of ceremonies. Oh, hold on. Someone decided to join us. Hi, Wednesday. You ran in and hit your mark and are beautifully centered in the pug cam. Nice job, Wednesday. Were you hanging out with the baby? You want to say hi to everyone? Say Happy New Year? Can we put these glasses on you again? Did you guys see the picture on her Instagram? Which, by the way, that's her Instagram handle if you want to find her. Can we put the glasses on again? Here, put the glasses on. Put the glasses on. It's okay. Put them on just for a second. Okay, fine. You can have a treat. There you go. Let's see. Marcy says, I do on the pike, some on the bone. Everybody says, hi, Wednesday. Wednesday does not like messing with the snow. You guys are right. Like, I have to shovel a path for her so that she has a place to go to the bathroom, because obviously if we get more than a couple inches of snow, she can't walk through it. So, right? You've been very snuggly today, too, by the way. I think she's sad that the hubs and the bonus son are gone, so she's been extra snuggly, right? Blah, 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 blah. You want another treat? Can you sit? Sit. Nope, sit. Nope, sit. Good girl. Let's say, as Sean says, Wednesday is adorable. Looks like she's, the look she's giving you. I know, she doesn't want to wear. Come on, move over, sit down with your ducky. There you go. Jessica says on January 16th, my dad is having his right hip replaced. Jessica, I know so many people whose parents have done that and literally like are up and walking around. It's unbelievable how quickly people are mobile after a surgery that invasive. It's insane. Let's see. I stream the bone on my phone when I'm in the truck. Well, thank you very much. So yeah, so the big gig is coming up. It's going to be at the end of April. Super excited about it. Tickets are on sale now. The link and all the details are on the event calendar. And speaking of shows and the bone, you can also hear me every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7 on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine. And coming up on Saturday night at Free Street in Portland, Maine, The Bone is presenting Rubicon and Mission to Sleep. And I am going to be up in Portland hosting this event. So if you are up in New Hampshire, up north in Massachusetts, or in Maine, and you're joining me here in the War Room, come and hang out with me on Saturday night. If you missed Jay and Dave from Rubicon a few weeks ago on the Mistress Carrie podcast, go back and listen to it. The guys are super sweet. The music is great. The shows are absolutely a blast. And I want to be able to start doing more and more of this stuff with the Bone. So we got to pack the place. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday night, if what Bish says is true and we're getting snow on Sunday, then come out and hang out on Saturday night while you can. Details on this, by the way, are up on the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. All right, let's talk about this week's cocktail. Wednesday. Can I have your paw? Paw. Thank you. Other paw. Okay. So I was telling you about it at the start of the show. This week's cocktail, Coquito, that I was given by Fernandez. He stopped by the house around the holidays to bring it to me. It is a traditional drink that comes from Puerto Rico. Wednesday scratching the cookie pocket. Wednesday, I'm not giving you any more because you're being a nudge. All gone. So Fernandez has a special recipe for his coquito because he grew up drinking it because he's from Puerto Rico. So I looked up a recipe because I couldn't find it in any of the bartender books that I have here in the War Room. So according to what I read online, coquito is a creamy Puerto Rican holiday cocktail made with coconut, rum, cinnamon, nutmeg, and more. The Easy Family recipe, this Easy Family recipe has been passed down through the generations. It's so good, you will want to share. So, coquito means little coconut in Spanish. It's a Puerto Rican cocktail that is made with coconut milk and rum, plus a few warming spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. It's thick and creamy with tons of coconut flavor, served chilled, and is popular during the holidays. People start making it for Thanksgiving and then serve it throughout the holiday season until Three Kings Day in January. How to make it. So I guess it's kind of like the Puerto Rican version of eggnog, I guess. The biggest difference between eggnog and coquito, this says, is that coquito is coconut flavored, made with a combination of rum, creamy coconut milk, sweetened condensed milk, and warm spices, and there are no eggs in it. It's usually made with rum, but often is made with brandy, bourbon, or whiskey, while eggnog is traditionally made with rum or bourbon. And let's see if I can get a light rum like Bacardi Superior or Don Q Cristal is the traditional choice. However, if you like dark aged rum, it's also delicious and will boost the flavors of vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Also, cinnamon, you need both sticks and ground cinnamon. There's actually cinnamon sticks in the glass right there. Sweetened condensed milk, cream of coconut, sold under a few different names. Goya makes one. This recipe says use Coco Lopez. Coconut milk, get it in the can with a thick layer of cream on top. Evaporated milk also gets used. Ground nutmeg, vanilla extract, and shredded coconut. So that it says soak the rum with cinnamon sticks and raisins if you're using them for 24 hours. Blend everything together. Then it says gather the rest of the ingredients and puree them all together in a blender. So you'll add the coconut milk, sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, cream of coconut, vanilla extract, shredded coconut optional, ground cinnamon and nutmeg. And then once everything is pureed, pour the coconut milk mixture into the bottle with the rum and shake well to combine, and then chill it for at least 4 hours before serving. This will help in the coquito thicken up, and then serve by pouring chilled coquito into cocktail glasses. You can add a coconut rim before pouring. If you like, sprinkle some extra ground cinnamon or nutmeg on top and start sipping. And that is what it should look like. So I don't know exactly what the measurements are in Fernandez's, but it's delicious. You said rum, and my little 1-year-old just raised his bottle like cheers to that, says Eric. Cheers to the baby. Starting him off young. Let's see. Keith says, not a fan of coconut. I love coconut. So much so that I kind of wish, Wednesday, that's not nice. I kind of wish that this had a chocolate component. Like for me, because we're always talking about garnishing. I would like smear like chocolate syrup on the inside of the glass because I love chocolate and coconut together. Absolutely love the flavors together. But this is delicious just the way that it is. It's super like warming and comforting, and you can definitely taste all of the spices. It's got cinnamon. You can kind of see it on the bottom of the glass, and there's cinnamon sticks in there too. But it's really, really good. So that's the cocktail of the week. And thank you to Fernandez, who is like the official Cocktails in the War Room bartender. Summertime, we get sangria. Wintertime, we get coquito, and it's delicious. All right, let's recap last week's podcast episode 186, featuring Tim Montana, who not only is opening up the Big Gig 3, but also opening up Stain's Tailgate Tour. The Big Gig 3 has got Asking Alexandria. The Tailgate Tour has got Saint Asonia, but still headlined by Stained and Seether, with Tim Montana opening. If you didn't get a chance to listen to the episode, he's a super cool guy. Is from Montana originally. Yes, that's his real name. And lived in Nashville for a while and tried to make it as a musician and a songwriter in Nashville. And has written songs with Billy Gibbons and Kid Rock. He's definitely been around. But then moved back to Montana, bought a piece of property, moved his family there, and then wrote this song, Devil You Know, and then it hit the rock charts and just went crazy. And so he's kind of grappling with this whole finding more success as a solo rock artist than he ever found, kind of thinking he would be more in the country genre. But we hit it off right off the bat. He is so nice, so genuine, willing to talk about anything. And I can't wait to meet him in person. We were talking about our Christmas trees and about his musical upbringing. He grew up in such a rural part of Montana that he grew up without electricity. Not even a joke. He talked all about it in the episode if you haven't heard it yet. And grew up playing acoustic guitar because they had to burn like oil to be able to have electricity for him to be able to plug in an amp. So he just played acoustic guitar. Let's see. Or chocolate-covered marshmallows, Melissa says in the drink. Oh, that would be delicious. Brett says, I can't believe he had no power growing up. It is kind of impossible to believe that in this day and age, right, with satellite internet and electric cars and smartphones and all of that, that there are people growing up in places so remote that they don't have access to electricity and internet. But it does happen. Let's see. Bye, Eric. Good night. So loved this episode. Really loved getting to know him. Cannot wait to see him play live. So he's going to be opening up the Big Gig and the Tailgate Tour. So you're going to have some chances to see Tim Montana coming up in April. So if you missed out on this episode 186 is available now. And at midnight, episode 187 goes live featuring Zach Malloy from the Nixons. Now, you'll remember the Nixons back in the mid-90s, who were the song Sister, the album Foma. AAF helped to break this band, something that Zach and I talked about because we know each other from back then, even before I was on the radio. But I was always around because I was on the street team and I got to know all of the bands back then. But Zach Malloy is also one of the members of the publishing company and the label known as the Four Horsemen, based out of Nashville with Marty Fredrickson. So Zach Malloy is also a songwriter in Nashville and also a producer. He co-wrote Shinedown's Dead Don't Die. He has worked and written songs with Hailstorm, Lilith Czar, Black Veil Brides, Plush, the artist that Daughtry, we talk all about all of these songs, had a #1 country song that he wrote with Carrie Underwood. The playlist for this episode is great because he talks a lot about songwriting with different artists, the unbelievable resurgence of women in rock because the Four Horsemen are working with so many of these female rock artists right now. And so we talked all about that. We talked all about the Nixons and the early days of both of our careers. Talked about Boston, songwriting influence, kind of how he looks at producing another artist versus what it's like to be the artist being produced. It's a really, really interesting interview, even if you have no idea who he is. You may have never heard of the Nixons before. First of all, they're a great band from the 90s, but he is working with so many contemporary artists as a producer and a songwriter that you guys are going to be like, wait, he worked on that song too? Wait, he worked on that song too? Lilith Czar's first number one song, Zach Malloy co-wrote it with her. So I think you guys are really going to love this episode. It was so cool reconnecting with Zach. He is such a nice guy. And he's just one of those people that I can't believe all these years have passed and I still know him. Like, it's kind of insane. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear episode 187 featuring Zach Malloy from the Nixons. It goes live at midnight tonight. And if you subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast, you get new episodes every Wednesday. Plus, every weekday, you get the sit rep with all of the rock news, music headlines, industry info, whether it be news on rock albums, bands breaking up, when albums are going on sale and getting released, when concerts are getting announced, but also stuff like Taylor Swift just broke Elvis's record for the solo artist with the most weeks at number one on the album chart. Elvis was a solo artist that spent 67 weeks with a number one album, not a single on the chart, the number one album in the country, 67 weeks, Elvis, 68 weeks, Taylor Swift. That's as a solo artist. The only artist or group or anybody that is ahead of Taylor Swift is the Beatles with 132 weeks at number one on the album chart, which is insane. Like, when you think about that, that is insane. Not number two, not in the top 10, not in the top 20. That's the number of weeks just at number one. And when you think about the fact that most of the Beatles music came out in 7.5 years. What? Yeah, it's just when people talk about how the Beatles aren't that big or that other bands are better, I'm just like, I can't have a serious conversation with you because you just don't know what you're talking about. So that's the kind of stuff you hear in the sit rep. So that's Monday through Friday. It's only about 5 minutes long. And problems. It's looking a little weird on my end too, Eric. Are we good? Is it working? Will wants to know, would you ever put your aunt on the podcast? I don't know, because I always try to keep it about like music related stuff. And so I don't know, but I mean, you never know. I'm open to anything. Jonathan says, me too. Anyone's stream been dropping out today? Mark says, sort of. It's very grainy, says Eric. It keeps cutting out. You're back on now, says Donna. 149 countries. All right, so I was hoping we were going to start the new year on the first episode of the year with 150 countries, but it was not meant to be. If you're celebrating your birthday today, you share it with Doug Robb from Hoobastank, Richard Cole, who had the job of Led Zeppelin's tour manager from 1968 to 1980. He wrote a book all about his adventures with Led Zeppelin. He was born on this date, as was Ricky Van Shelton. So if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Happy unbirthday, Keith. Cheers. Betty says, glad I'm not the only one. All right, let's get through some music headlines. Some other shows got announced. Obviously, the biggest first rock release day of the year is coming up on the 19th. Green Day, the Rolling Stones Live, Hackney Diamonds, and the new Plush EP are all coming out on January 19th. And really looking forward to Serj Tankian from System of a Down's book. It's called Down with the System, and it's set for release on May 14th. Wednesday, you're being very fresh. Let's see, what is going on tonight? No rock shows coming up at the Garden because we have not gotten a rescheduled date for Aerosmith yet. However, Joe Perry did an interview with the Boston Globe last week and said the band expects to be back out on the road either in the summer or fall of 2024, and that there's always next New Year's, because Aerosmith was really bummed out that they had to miss their New Year's Eve show at the TD Garden. A couple shows got announced for Big Night Live down on Causeway Street as well. Just a reminder, all the shows we always talk about here on the show, you can find them on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. So Crown the Empire and Starset both playing at Big Night Live. And that whole area of the Garden is just crazy. We spent the day, my family went into Boston just to go sightseeing and go get pizza and go to the North End and see all the lights in the Commons and stuff. And just being down by the Garden is just nuts. The Xfinity Center shows Alanis Morissette, Limp Bizkit, Styx and Foreigner, ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd, 30 Seconds to Mars, the Creed Summer of 99 tour with Three Doors Down, Finger 11. It's going to be a busy summer again at the Xfinity Center. So we're going to have a lot of shows there we're going to be going to. Bret Michaels, the show at Mohegan that was supposed to happen on December 16th has been postponed to February 9th. So if you've got tickets, you got to hold on to them because the show is going to happen. Michael Cole says, your hair and makeup still looks on spot on even when it freezes. Well, thank you. Shows coming up soon. Extreme and Living Color at Foxwoods on the 26th. The Record Company at the Sinclair on the 31st. The Bret Michaels show that we just talked about. Disturbed at Mohegan with Falling in Reverse and Plush coming up in February. John 5 at the Tupelo Music Hall. The Rolling Stones at Gillette coming up May 30th. The Sasanta Tour with Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. 2 shows at the Box Center Wang Theater, April 2nd and 3rd. The Foos at Fenway, Blink-182 at Fenway. Green Day and the Smashing Pumpkins with Rancid and Linda Lindas at Fenway. And, of course, we've got Metallica coming to Gillette next August, too, which is just going to be insane. The Palladium has got the Machine Killer Tour with Static X, Sevendust, and Dope coming at the end of February, and Queensryche and Armored Saint at the end of April. And the NoFX final tour is going to be at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton coming up August 31st and September 1st. Get the details on all the shows on the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Some new shows got announced at the MGM Music Hall over the holidays. Of course, we can look forward to the Dropkick Murphys in March. 3 shows at MGM, plus Porno for Pyros on March 5th, Guster on March 30th, Judas Priest and Sabaton on April 25th, and Bad Religion and Social D. That is going to be on May 7th, Wednesday. You are being naughty. Stop. You're being naughty. You're scratching at me. House of Blues has got Beartooth, Sleep Theory, Invent Animate, and The Plot in You coming up on the 21st. Crosses on February 19th. Alkaline Trio on March 10th. The Dropkick Murphys kicking off the week of St. Patrick's Day at the House of Blues on March 14th. Blackberry Smoke on March 21st. Architects on May 6th. And Black Veil Brides on May 8th. So a lot going on. Tons of shows. Coming up this week, Zach Sabbath. Zach Wild's Black Sabbath tribute is going to be at the Paradise on the 6th. Machine Head will be there February 8th. Code Orange, February 25th. Matisyahu on March 16th. And Girls School on March 29th. Yes, don't give me the sad eyes. You're being naughty. No new releases this week in rock. I told you, the first, through the holidays, the first couple of weeks of January, there's not a lot of stuff that comes out just because the retail industry, the promotions arm of the labels, everybody's off. So things are really starting to kick back up. So we'll have some new releases. The only thing that came in the mail this week, and it did not come with a card. I got this pillow. I don't know who sent it, but I have an idea. And it says, Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you're a dick. I laughed so hard when I opened this at the post office because it was in this envelope that was all squishy. And I was like, I need to know what's in there. So I need confirmation who sent this to me. Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you're a dick. I guess this is like the perfect Christmas pillow ever. I died laughing. Keith says 4-1 Bruins. Fantastic. Wednesday is impatiently waiting for mail call. Eric says, that's from me. Eric, did you really send this? You are outside your mind. I literally was dying. Because when you look at it like this, it's like, wow, that's a statement, dude. But then you go like that, and I literally was dying laughing. So thank you for the pillow. It's actually quite soft and comfortable. Wednesday, do you want me to put this over on your pug cam for you? And I put the pillow over on your pug cam? Huh? I have one left. Can you be a nice girl and stop scratching at my hand if I give it to you? Can I have a high five? Thank you. That's it. There's no more. You hear me? See my hands? There's no more cookies. They're all gone. So you need to behave the rest of the night. Okay? Do we have a deal? Can we shake on it? Shake on it. Wednesday. Shake on it. Hey, shake. Thank you. Bish says dick pillow, add it to the dictionary. A whole pillow full of dicks. It gets worse with what's coming, says Eric. Well, there was nothing else in there. This was the only thing that was in mail call. So if you send something else, it did not arrive yet. But hilarious. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's saying that you're not going to behave Wednesday. I'm hoping you're going to behave. The online store, the earplugs are in. I have not I was putting them as everybody that ordered stuff through the holidays got free earplugs in the free case. But they are going to get added to the online store this week. So you'll be able to get little plastic cases to store your little foamy earplugs in. And then I'm also going to have them like at the big gig and other places when I go out, I'll have earplugs as well. And we are working on some new merch ideas and getting some things into production, which is one of my winter tasks. So there's definitely new stuff coming to the Mistress Carrie online store. And let's see, hold on. Backstage passes. If you don't have a Mistress Carrie backstage pass, you can get one on patreon.com/Mistress Carrie. You can take part in the monthly live streams, which we are doing Sunday night at 7:30. Sunday night, January 7th at 7:30, we're going to get together for our annual live stream, get caught up with everything else that's going on with the podcast, let you guys know who I've got scheduled coming up. You can also submit podcast interview questions, travel blog updates. I am going to be traveling in February, so I'll be taking you guys with me. Early access to event tickets and exclusive concert ticket giveaways. And as the concerts start coming around, you are going to have access to free concert tickets once again. So if you do not have a Mistress Carrie backstage pass, you can get one. Click the Patreon link at mistresscarrie.com or just go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie. And finally, a reminder of, I think we might have frozen. Are we frozen? I'm frozen on my end. Can you hear me? Are we frozen? What's going on? All the places you can find me online: Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, and Patreon. You can also download the Pike app and the Bone app, and you'll get links to the podcast. You can listen to me live, and anything and everything that you're looking for to have linked, just go to mistresscarrie.com. It is all right there. Frozen with audio. Oh, that's great. So I'm frozen with that face. That's awesome. Oh, I'm drinking. Enjoy the ASMR. All right. Well, I don't know why we're frozen, but we're going to end the show. So there you go. Wednesday. Should we say goodnight? Happy New Year, guys. Let me see if I can unfreeze it. Hold on. Let me see if this works. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why it got stuck, but it got stuck. But we got to Why wouldn't we have technical problems on the first episode of the year? Of course we are. Killing it. Let's see. Keith says, Carrie, I have some great screenshots of you frozen. Oh, great. I can't wait to see them. Good night, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Mark, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic 2024. We've got a lot of things to do together. We're working on a lot of different ideas. And there's a lot of maybes right now with stuff that's going on. And if half of the things that are a maybe right now end up happening, this year, 2024, is going to be a great year. Every year is going to have its challenges. We have been put through the ringer together over the last few years. The fact that this year we're going to celebrate our 4th War Room anniversary is kind of insane. Concerts are back. We're going to get so much more new music this year. Wednesday is going to be celebrating her 6th birthday coming up in April, which just blows my mind. So we just got to stay positive, support each other, do what we can, and figure it out. So there you go. Never a dull moment around here. Wednesday, you want to say goodnight? See if it'll be frozen for you. Do you want to say goodnight? Don't forget Wednesday. Jesus loves you and everyone else thinks you're a dick. Right? She doesn't look very happy about it. Do you want to wear the glasses? All right, guys. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. I will see you guys next week. Episode 187 of the Mistress Carrie podcast featuring Zach Malloy, who is one of the 4 horsemen and the singer from the Nixons, joins me on the podcast starting at midnight tonight.